Toby. Toby is visiting us from North Carolina. Thank you for joining us today. And your first time. It's your first event. Thank you for coming. And then we have Lee. Thank you so much, Lee, for coming today. So in spite of the beautiful weather outside, we are here sitting inside. So
We should be done outside.
So, how many of you are aware of the topic of today?
Discover real true love.
Yes. So, this is like my second session here. In terms of like, I came here many months ago, and then I took the topic of manual of life. So, like, whenever we buy something, we get a manual with that object, like especially devices, right? So that we can understand the functionality of the device nicely. So if you buy a new iPhone or iPad or like Google phone or a new laptop, even a washer and dryer, even an oven, stove, anything, you get a manual. And in my last session, I was talking about what about us? This body is also like a machine. And in some sense, it grows, it heals itself. It is a source of our pleasure and pain, both. And it's like a vehicle. It's our vehicle in this journey of life. And we see so many things, so many experiences we access through this body. The healthier we are, the happier we are, right? That's how we say. And the whole life is about maintaining this body. So what about the manual of this body? So that was my session when I came here last time. And then I discussed last time that whenever I come next, then I'll talk about how can we understand that we have this body. So any device in Sanskrit is known as yantra. And body is also known as yantra. So, okay, so every device, every object has some purpose. So what is the purpose of this yantra, this device or this body, whatever you want? And one of the main things of this body is this yantra is to help us attain love, happiness. And that's what we are seeking. So although nobody has told us that, I'm pretty sure none of you have got the manual of your body by any mind, but this is what we are seeking. And today, on a very basic level, we'll try to understand what that love means and what it is. So the title of today's topic is Real Eternal Love. So we'll start with this principle of attraction. So it's very simple to understand. I'm not talking about power of attraction, which is very famous outside, but we'll talk about the principle of attraction. Like how there is an attraction between parents and their kids. There is attraction with our eyes towards anything beautiful we see, whether it's a beautiful face, beautiful form, beautiful art. There is an attraction of hearing nice music, like say you were hearing Adele and like you heard the recent like her album and it's like you're hearing it again and again. The song is really so cool. Or even like the previous songs mashed up by Elton John and Dua Lipa, like such a nice song, and you're hearing it again and again, and it's just like nectar, like so it makes you happy, right? We'll come on that happiness part, but there is such deep attraction, or like such beautifully we had this kirtan which Champak just sang, and you may maybe this kirtan or some other kirtan you may just like it so much, you are so attracted to it that you may just keep on singing it in your mind in the background. So we are always attracted. This principle of attraction is there. There is attraction like we want to touch soft objects. Like we really like to touch soft objects. Like a nice throw, or like even thinking like if a cute baby, or can I just go and touch the baby, or like a cute puppy. There is attraction even in the animal species as well. Like their parents are caring for their children, and so on. So this kind of attraction actually exists. Magnet and iron, if you put sugar or some kind of food, there will be insects around it, like honeybees are attracted to honey. There is attraction everywhere. And we are always looking for that attraction. And as soon as we are attracted to something nice, we generally say, oh, I love this song. Oh, I love this person. Oh, I love this place. Like you're attracted to, say, for example, beaches. And that's why like Miami is your favorite place, or maybe some other place in the United States or anywhere in the world. You have been there and you're attracted to beaches, and this place is my favorite place. And you will not say this, I like this place. You will say, I love that place. So that aspect of love is very intertwined with this object of attraction, this principle of attraction. So when this word love comes, then why do we say that we love it? Because whenever we come in contact with that particular person, object, or that thing, we feel happiness, some form of happiness, and this is the link. So, with that in mind, today we will be seeing first about the attraction principle, second about who's the boss and who's the das. I'll explain on that. Then we'll talk about dharma. What does dharma mean? And what's the dharma of soul? So like the program is called as Soul Talks. So what is that soul and what's the dharma of that soul? And then we are not gods, but we are gods. So we'll cover these 4 things. I don't think I'll be able to cover all of them today. So maybe second time when I come, I will come and I'll complete the session. But this is what we're going to see today. So these are the 4 things. We'll dive deep into attraction principle, which I explained already. Then boss and das, dharma of the soul, and we are not gods, we are gods. So the attraction principle. So what do you think? Who attracts us in this world? What attracts you? Anyone thing?
Kindness.
Kindness. So when you see someone very kind, you feel attracted to that person, right? Any act of kindness that you love that. Tammy?
Smile.
Smile?
Yeah.
So you are attracted to various people when they smile.
Yeah.
It's very attractive to you. What other things like money or like fame or any other things? Are you attracted? Yes.
Versus vibration, like energy.
The energy, you're attracted to energy like the vibration, like sound vibration or
Yeah, like it's like unexplainable type of thing. Make it feel like a person.
nice. But we have 2 new people here. What's your name?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Ezekiel. Thank you for coming. And then we have Tushar. Thank you, Tushar, for coming today. So we are talking about what attracts us in this world. So you say like the aura or the vibrations of a person, act of kindness, or like smile on a person's face. What else attracts us? Nature. So you are attracted by the nature. Plants. You are very attracted with plants. Like I'll tell you, I am very so my role here is basically operations and business strategy. So I'm always thinking about business, and I have my own business also outside. So I'm very attracted to people who are successful businessmen. So when I hear about Elon Musk, I'm very attracted. I want to know what is he doing, what is it. So I'm attracted to him. Yes, like I'm coming out clean. Like that's true. And yeah. So anything else like, or what are you attracted to? Tushar? Say it again. Okay, if you're an addict, then you're attracted to drugs. Okay, yeah, fair enough. There is attraction there. Champaka?
2 things. I'm attracted to someone who has devotion for God. And I am attracted to someone who has deep humility. And I'm attracted to someone who has kindness and compassion. I'm attracted to someone who has commitments and like strength, like emotional, mental strength and ambition. Like someone who's driven.
Okay. So she covered a lot actually. She's attracted to beauty, which I think we all can agree on. Like this is someone very beautiful or something very beautiful. We feel attracted to it. And dance, yes, that's an expression, arts, and nature of a person, right? And then strength. She said strength. Strength is very attractive. So if you see someone, she was talking about emotional strength, but maybe some people will be attracted when they see someone physically very strong. So let's see. So everyone is attracted to someone beautiful, strong, and wealthy. But why? So it's the answer is it. So a very basic point here, which I would like to share with you, is that the soul by nature is Sat Chit Ananda. Have you ever heard about this Sat Chit Ananda here in this sessions before? Can anyone tell me? Tammy has never heard about it. It's his first session. What about Lee? Do you know what is Sat Chit Ananda? You have heard of it. Would you like to? Yes, Tushar.
Existence, consciousness.
Yes. Existence, consciousness, and bliss. So Sat means existence, but like forever existence. Chit means like unlimited knowledge. Your knowledge, like whatever knowledge you need, basically. And Ananda means bliss. This is our nature, basically. This is who we are at the core. And that's what we are seeking. That's why we want to live forever. You heard that song, old song, Forever Young, right? It's such a beautiful song. Just says how I just want to be young and like I just want to be like happy. Yes. So always seeking that love, that bliss, that happiness. Always trying to be like healthy and try to live forever, basically. Why? Because that's our nature. And these things, whatever we are attracted to, are present in a permanent form. So I'm not talking in terms of like long term. I'm saying like it's eternal. Eternal means it is always existing. Not like this world. The world in which we live in, everything is changing. Change is basically rooted in each and every atom or the fabric of this whole creation. You will see a bird, the bird will become a flower, and the flower will dry up and then will become part of the soil, and that's the cycle of life. Same with our bodies as well. Same with anything we see in this world. Everything here is temporary. It's always changing. But in the spiritual world, which is the next part of this, not this session, but if ever I come again and I take you, then what that spiritual world is like. So there, these things, they are existing in for eternity. And that's what we are seeing. Like for example, if you are very hungry and you go and you eat something tasty, you will really enjoy your first bite and the second. And as your bites will increase, your enjoyment will subsequently go down. Just imagine a scenario in which you can enjoy as much as you want, but you never feel that you are filled up. And the taste you get in the first bite stays with you forever. Just imagine that feeling. Imagine any kind of bliss you have experienced, like when you're like, wow, what this is so I'm feeling so happy. It can be anything. It can be on an emotional level, it can be on a physical level. That particular feeling, that experience lasting forever. That's what we are talking here about. That's what this whole spiritual science is all about. So now we are attracted to various things which all of you said because they exist in the spiritual world. And they exist in full in God Himself. So let's go and see. Dive deeper into this. So I'll first define God. So I know that you know that some people define God as G-O-D, which is like generator, right? Or someone, you have ever heard of that? I heard of that. Someone told me G-O-D means G for this, O for this, D for that. I was like, wow, that's cool. Like D for destruction and O for someone who operates or manages, and G is for he's generating, he's creating. So it's creation is happening, maintenance is happening, and annihilation is happening. So that is G-O-D. And I was like, wow, that's very nice definition. But in Sanskrit, or if you see the Bhagavad Gita or any Vedic scripture, God is defined as many names are there. There are primary names of God, there are secondary names of God, there are intimate names of God, and then there are like for every quality there is a name of God. It is said there are so many names of God that if you just start reading the list of God, the whole life will end, but will not be able to come at the end of the names of God. And even not one life, many, many lives. That's how God is. But one of the names is known as Bhagavan. So what Bhagavan means? So we have some new guests. Welcome all of you.
Wow, hi.
Hello everyone. Okay. So we were talking about the definition of Bhagavan. So this is one word which comes many times in the Bhagavad Gita, and I think more than 140, 150 times in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are the two main scriptures of the Bhakti lineage. And what it means. So as you can see, Bhagavan basically means one who has 6 opulences. So Bhaga is basically connected to 6 opulences, and one is one who possesses, if you break that word down. And Parashar Muni, he's a very famous sage in the Vedic civilization who wrote commentaries on various subjects, including astrology and astronomy. He defines what Bhagavan is. So Bhagavan is someone who has these 6 qualities. But when we talk about God, I just want to stress that these things exist like in an unlimited fashion. So unlimited beauty, unlimited wealth, unlimited knowledge, unlimited fame, unlimited strength, and unlimited renunciation. So if we try to see the things which you guys were thinking of, like these things are attractive to me, you will see that somehow the other they are connected to these 6 things. Like wealth, I was talking about wealth, or knowledge, or even like renunciation. So renunciation is a quality. Renunciation basically means that you give up something for a higher purpose, higher cause. You renounce the world, and you basically live for serving others. That's renunciation. So it is existing in Krishna or in the God, like in completion. So because of these things, God is the most attractive person. So we feel attracted to various people, various entities, various objects, because those objects, those entities, those people, they have these qualities in some minor proportion. So that's the reason of feeling attracted. So as I explained, Bhagavan, will break it down. So Bhagavan means opulence. Van means one who possesses. So it's mentioned here that in Bhagavad Gita it comes 28 times, while in Srimad Bhagavatam comes 140 times. So, like in terms of wealth, someone may say, so here we are using some terms which are very common in the Indian subcontinent. So Lakpati means millionaire. So someone may say, I'm a millionaire, or I'm a multi-millionaire, or I'm a billionaire. But Krishna or God is Lakshmipati. So Lakshmi is not only wealth. Lakshmi, wealth or income is one of the aspects of Lakshmi. There are like 8 aspects of Lakshmi, like your health, success of what you do, in whatever you do, your overall happiness, your income, the vehicles you have, the happiness you get in your family, the happiness you get by having children, all sorts of those happiness combined is what Lakshmi means. So it's more than that. And God is Lakshmipati. He's like, he has all these things. So moving on. So 6 opulences. So we already spoke about beauty. So we are attracted like people who are beautiful, people who are wealthy, people who have great knowledge, people who have great strength, people who are very famous, like Gandhi, or people who are very renounced, like some saints. They are very renounced, and their acts of kindness and their acts of charity and selflessness they are practiced. So all these six basically are like reflection. And as reflections are not, they are true, but they are not original. To the same extent, whatever we see in this world and whatever we are attracted to is basically a reflection of God. And all these things are basically combined into that person. And that reflection is of God, basically. So it is said, so I'll be wrapping up the attraction principle very soon. Like, how beautiful is God? So in our Bhakti lineage, we say that the supreme personality of Godhead or God is Krishna. The word Krishna himself, Krishna, it basically means all attractive. That's what it means. And as I said, that there are many various meanings to God. Like God can have so many types of meanings: primary names, secondary names, intimate names, right? But this one basically encompasses everything. This is the most confidential name. It means that he's all attractive. So he's very beautiful. So we read in the scriptures that when Krishna was there and he was having his pastimes there, when he would walk, it is said that the moving things would stop and the non-moving things would start to move just to get a glimpse of Krishna. So attractive. It's not that only humans were attracted to Krishna. Like, there are various paintings and various places you'll find that all sorts of living entities were attracted to Krishna. So that's beauty of Krishna. I already spoke about wealth, like how much wealth Krishna has. So there is like so much description. It is said that Krishna had 16,108 palaces on an island which he built as his home. He was immensely rich, extremely wealthy. Knowledge, the Bhagavad Gita is basically, Bhagavad means, word comes from Bhagavan, which means God, and Geet means song. So basically, Bhagavad Gita means song of God. And it is so knowledgeable. If you read Bhagavad Gita, you will see that Krishna is basically quoting the Vedas and Upanishads. In the second chapter, third chapter, all his knowledge is condensed. He's so knowledgeable. Well, definitely, he is the source of all that knowledge. That's why he's so knowledgeable. But yes, all the knowledge, source of all knowledge is God and Krishna himself. Then strength. So there is a very beautiful pastime in which, to protect his devotees, Krishna lifted a hill. Now we can lift like maybe a few pounds, few boxes, maybe some heavy pieces of furniture. But Krishna, on his left hand's pinky finger, he lifted the whole hill. That's the strength of Krishna. And then fame. Krishna is so famous. Now, definitely, in the Western world, he is famous. And he is famous because of Srila Prabhupada, who came out and he was distributing things. But even culturally, if you go deep into the archaeology in Indian subcontinent, even in Russia, they have found figures similar to Krishna and how he is so famous. And now again, he's very famous. Whether you know about Hare Krishnas or not, or you have heard about ISKCON or not, or you have heard about Bhakti Center or not, somewhere or here, ever you have, even in the movies or somewhere, you heard the name Krishna, somewhere there, people talk about it. And renunciation. So you can see in the picture below, the first picture, Krishna is basically, he's a baby and he's carrying the sandals of his father on his head. Such a sweet exchange. And in the below picture, you see it's Krishna's friend, who is basically extremely poor person, extremely poverty. He has like nothing in life, and he comes and meets his friend Krishna, and you see Krishna is sitting on the ground, and he's washing the feet of this man. So that's renunciation. He's not attached that I'm such a great person, I'm God, or I'm this and that. He just sees my friend has come. How can I love my friend? How can I be hospitable to my friend? How can I make my friend comfortable? So there are other incidents of renunciation as well. There are many stories. If just we just talk about Krishna himself, but I'll not go into those details today. So these are the 6 opulences of Supreme Lord. So Krishna has all these things in full, that's why he's known as Bhagavan. While whatever we are attracted to are basically reflections and still minute reflections in this world. So yad vibhumat sattvam srimati urjitam eva va tat tat eva gacchantvam mama tejosma sambhava. So Krishna is saying that whatever beautiful you see, this is a shloka from the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you see in this world, it's basically a spark of my spirit. That's written in the Bhagavad Gita. So that was about the attraction principle. Now let's talk about the boss and the Das principle. So I'm just thinking about the movie, The Boss Baby, but that's not what we are talking about here. So in this world, if you see, God is a supreme person, and all the souls are basically his eternal servants. So when we say eternal, it means it has been existing forever. So it means we are existing forever, God is existing forever, and we are always having this service relationship. Like we become happy when we serve someone. If you see, the greatest happiness, like some people may say, let me earn more money, but after you start earning a certain amount, then money doesn't give you that happiness. Then it's just like you can buy whatever you want in life, but it will not give you that happiness. If you could have scarce money and then you save and you buy something, you're excited about it. But say if you are like getting like $100,000 in your bank account, say for example, every month, and then you have already your house which you have bought, and you have your cars which you have bought, and you are quite settled in your life, and you don't know what to do with that. Like you will buy new stuff, and then it will not give you as much pleasure as it used to be when you were on your journey making that much money. But this one thing will always give you pleasure in life, that is serving someone. So if someone is hungry and you go and you feed that person, someone needs some help and you extend a helping hand. In any way, if you try to serve someone, you will feel kind of bliss, kind of happy. And that's why we see like extremely rich people, they are very much into philanthropy because that gives them pleasure. They really like to serve others. But the baseline principle here is that we all are actually supposed to be serving God. And if we serve Him, then the feeling which we get will stay with us for a very long time. And if you're able to get that connection going, then the feeling will be eternal. That happiness, that bliss will be eternal. So that's the point I'm trying to convey. So service to the Supreme Lord. So basically, in this world also, if you see, plural subordinates, they are serving a single Supreme. Even if you see in this world. Let's see how. So for example, students go to their school and they're basically abiding by the rules and regulations of whatever the dean or the principal has decided. And in turn, if they are good students, then they go to the next grade and then the next grade and they graduate from the school. So if you see employees, they are serving like the plans of the CEO, and when they do everything nicely, then they get salary, perks, bonuses, whatever. So it's a mutual relationship. If you see citizens of someone, you abide by the rules and you're serving the president or the prime minister of that country, and basically then you get so many other things like welfare and so many perks, whatever that government provides. So plural subordinates are serving a single supreme. So it is said, this shloka says, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bhunam Yo Vidadati Kama. What it means that Nitya means eternal. So forever, we have always been many. So for forever, we have been many, and our purpose has been to serve that one single person or one single being. That's God. And it says that how we are part and parcels. So once we start serving God, that's how we start getting nourishment and happiness. So okay, we will not go into the quiz, but we'll talk about this. So is God some impersonal light or energy, or He's a person? Let's talk about that. I don't know what we have covered here. I know that some of you have just recently entered the room. For you all guys who have just entered the room, have you attended Soul Talks before? Is this your first time? And I know from where you are you in a group?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's one of Harrisburg. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. So those people who have been here in Soul Talks, my question to you all, is God a universal energy, or is God a person, or is God is just light? I would like to hear your thoughts. May I know your name? Naomi. Naomi, what do you think? Universal energy, okay, and light, both. Okay, okay. It's not a person. You think God is a person? Okay. Tushar, what do you think? He's an energy. Okay. As it good?
Think impersonal light and energy.
You say think light and energy. Okay. How many of you feel that God is impersonal light and energy? Raise your hands. Okay. 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 Nice. Thank you so much. So let's talk about that. I'll not, this is a separate topic, and maybe Champak, you can take note of it. Maybe we can have something on this in detail. But I will be touching it very, like, in a very, very, I'll not use the word shallow, but I'll touch it briefly. Or he's a person. Let's see. So let's talk about Microsoft, or let's talk about Alphabet, or let's talk about the company Meta, or Amazon, any company, any well-managed MNC with operations all around the world. So we see that there is a person running and managing it. The company is impersonal for sure. All the services you get, all the benefits you get from that firm, from that company, you basically get, like you say that my operating system is from Microsoft. You don't say that my operating system is designed by Bill Gates or whoever designed it, right? You say it's from this company. You don't say that I ordered food today and I ordered, say for example, this cushion, and Jeff Bezos came and delivered to me, or because of him I got my delivery. You say Amazon did the delivery for me. And Amazon is that all-encompassing, like a big company, which is more impersonal. And then say, for example, you went and you are connecting with your friends on Facebook. So you will not say that, oh, because of Mark, today I was able to talk to my sister. Oh, Mark is so nice. Mark connected me with my granny or with my friend. We'll say Facebook did that for us. So Facebook is the thing, but definitely there's a person who is running Facebook. And behind that the company is this one person who definitely is helped by many other persons. And then together they make the Facebook. So a country, you can say that, let's talk about India. It's like a largest democracy in the world. There is an elected party. Let's talk about the United States. There is an elected party here. And we can say that that party or the government of the United States is running the nation, which is true. It's not wrong. But there is one person who is responsible for making sure that that government is running smoothly. And he takes a responsibility. Again, he's not alone. He is helped by many other individuals. And then more individuals. And together they form the government. But still, the main responsibility lies on one person. So, if you see this whole universe, it has perfect organization and control, both at the macro level and at the micro level. Like, we never hear that there is a need of like traffic policemen at at our solar space level, that hey, Saturn is going faster than what was supposed to go, and then there is going to be like some kind of accident between Saturn and, let's say, Mercury. Like, they should coordinate their speeds. No, their speed is fixed. The seasons are fixed. Nature is like, everything is happening in harmony at the macro level and micro level, which I think most of us will agree to that. So there is perfect organization and control. But who is a person? Is there a person, or it's just because one universal energy who's not a person, just some one day like said, like, let's have everything together, and just everything came out. So in the Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka. This picture is very beautiful. It basically shows the creation as per Vedic cosmology, like how the universes are coming out. And I'll not spend time on it, but maybe question and answers. If you want, I can explain the whole thing within like 2 minutes to you. So there is a shloka where Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samadvita. He says, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Then there is another shloka known as Na tat bhashate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatvana nivartate tad dhamam paramam. So he's talking about spiritual world, which we were discussing before most of you just came into the room. And he says that there is a spiritual abode of mind, which is not illumined by the sun or the moon, nor by fire or electricity. And if you reach that destination, then there is no return. So before we go to the next thing, a food for thought for all of you. Some of you feel that God is universal energy, and some of you feel that God is a person. And I would say that He's both. He's God. God cannot be limited. We cannot, it's the kind of intelligence we have, the kind of brain we have. For us, it is unfathomable to understand the enormous or the enormity of this creation, of this universe, and understand the energies of something. Like, for example, for an ant can only see like in 2D. If we stand in front of the ant cannot see that we are there, but we can see the ant. So the vision is limited, and so is our senses. Our sense perception is limited. We only hear from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. We only see in that with pure vision, right? We don't see everything. We don't see all dimensions. What all things are happening. We don't hear every sound. Even our touch, it's relative. Even our tongue, the tasting thing, it's relative, right? You can, if you eat a sweet and then you take a coffee, you may not find the coffee sweet enough, right? It's relative. So our senses are not complete and not perfect. So scriptures say, and that's why it is so important. And in the previous session, known as the manual of life, I discussed that how important it is for us to basically go to the manual and try to understand how this world is, then try to figuring it out on our own, which is also a good way to be doing it, but it will take us a long time to understand. Like for me to figure out like all the functionalities on my new Disney Plus subscription, for me just to go and see the tutorial is faster than me like going through my remote and going through every single thing on my own. It'll be a waste of time. So the scriptures say that God is a person and God is light. He is both. And this is known as Achinta Beda Ved. It means it is inconceivable oneness and difference. So he is pervading everywhere. And at the same time, he's a person as well. So when we have to love God, we cannot love light. We are in the bhakti path. For us to have a loving connection, we need a person. It's easy for me to pamper a person than pamper like something which I don't understand. So that's why he exists. God exists both as a person and as that infinite universal energy. And as bhakti practitioners, because we are developing that love for supreme, that's why our focus is on towards that person and on the personal aspect. So with that, briefly, I'll go to the next thing. Once I'm not keeping track of that. Okay. Champa, am I supposed to end now? Do I have some time? It's 12:06.
5 more minutes. Go to 12%, then we'll do 15 minutes.
Okay. So my session is still remaining. So let me tell you guys a story and wake you guys up. I know I've been boring you guys a lot with all these things. So let's talk about the Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita, some people claim that it is the most commented book in the world. Like, it's very famous. We all know about it. But people say that it has been like so many commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita by the people of the Indian subcontinent and by people of all over the world. So many commentaries. And we were discussing about all knowledge, which comes like, it's like Krishna's knowledge. And Krishna is sharing Bhagavad Gita with us. But who is the recipient of this Bhagavad Gita? So the recipient of Bhagavad Gita, his name is Arjun. And the meaning of Arjun means spotless, white. You have seen that white without any dot, any black dot, like how Prabhu is wearing this beautiful white colored clothes. So like spotless, white, like character-wise, confidence-wise, like spotless guy. But we have to understand, like he's just not only spotless, he's just not like a good-natured guy, but he's extremely confident. So if you read the Mahabharata, so it's like, I would say, like a bigger version of Game of Thrones kind of things. Definitely cannot compare both of them. But just imagine, like it's like a conquest for the throne. But in Game of Thrones, we have many families. But in the Mahabharata, we have only 2 families. And the rightful heir of the throne are the 5 sons of the king. But because of some complication or something, some other party, basically, the brother of the king, he becomes the king, and then he swans that his 100 sons. So again, all credit to the man who got 100 sons. Like it's difficult to manage few children, but he had 100. He had more than 100 actually, but 100 sons. And now there is this problem between these 100 sons and these five brothers. Like who is going to get the throne? And that's why they have this battle. The place is still existing in India, and it is said that the soil is red in color. There was so much bloodshed there on that battlefield that day. It's said that armies came from like all the way from China and like from southern part of India and from even from Iran. All the armies from all the neighboring countries came and they took sides. Whether either they were with the 5 brothers known as the Pandavas, or they were with the 100 sons led by Duryodhana. So in the 5 brothers, the number third, like third from the eldest, and then the whatever. Third one is Arjun. So because of some complication before the battle, they were in hiding. And it was part of a deal of peace. That after if you fulfill it was like a contract. That if you fulfill this contract, okay, we will give you your kingdom, or at least we'll give you half of the kingdom. There was some kind of deal there. So they are in hiding. And somehow the 100 brothers, they find out where these people are hiding. And they say, we need to capture these people. And they were running out of time. Before the sunset, they were supposed to capture. They were hiding for like a year. And with that sunset, 1 year would have been over of like hiding. So he just comes to know the like 100 sons, and they come to know like just the morning that they are hiding in some nearby kingdom. They say we need to charge, we need to attack, we need to capture these people. Because if they fail to fulfill the contract, they again go for like 12 more years, 13 more years in the jungle, and the contract renews, and then again 1 year in hiding. So he really wanted to do it so that he can again keep on enjoying the kingdom. So basically this small kingdom, which basically has only 2 gates, the north gate and the south gate, is basically surrounded by the nearby kingdoms and their armies. And majority of the army is on the south gate. Not hundreds and thousands. If you see in Game of Thrones, now you have seen we have the Unsullied, right? And then we have the other army. I forgot the name of those raiders. If anyone knows the name of those raiders. The tribal people, like were looking like Mongols, but so they are there in like hundreds and thousands there, and say the Unsullied are also there. Say the dragons are also there on the southern gate. Like everybody is on the southern gate, and that's why out of 5 brothers, 4 brothers they say we will defend in hiding as normal soldiers with the king and his army the southern gate, and they didn't think that the northern gate is also being attacked. And Arjun that time was hiding in the form of a cross-dresser. So he was basically like, I don't need for me to explain, but he was basically hiding. He was not even like seen as a boy. He was basically a dance teacher, like an arts guy. And he was basically teaching the princess, the daughter of the king. That's why he was with the women inside the kingdom. And suddenly they hear the news that the north part is also being attacked. And the 100 brothers, with their commander-in-chief, which is Bhishma. Bhishma means very great and mighty. It is said that Bhishma alone could wipe half of the army of the whole Indian subcontinent. He was so powerful. He was around 400 years old at that time. He was given the boon of Ichha Mrityu, which means that he could die when he wants to die. Otherwise, he would not die. And he was a son of great celestial personality known as Ganga or Ganges. So he is there on their side. The 100 sons are there, and they have their specialized soldiers there with them. And in the kingdom, there are only women, and the daughter of the king, and the son of the king, who was also very young, like a teenager. His name was Uttar Kumar. And Uttar says, okay, so I will go and I will fight these people. And he gets very pumped up, and all the teenage girls in the kingdom are waving flags at him, and he's feeling like more related, I'm doing something great. But then he comes back running. Like he goes to the gate and he sees he can't even see the end of the army. Basically, everywhere is the army. The army was just attacking the north gate. He comes back running into the kingdom. And Charity is also very, very fearful. What will happen now? No, we will be slaughtered. We are a small kingdom, and everybody is fighting on the south gate. What will happen to us? And at that time, our Arjun, who was basically not Arjun but a dance teacher, he says, let me be your charity. And Uttar Kumar says, you are a dance teacher. Come on, you're not even a full man. You're not even a soldier. This is not your field. You can go and spend time with my sister. Maybe this is the last time you're going to teach and have your dance class. Just go and have your dance classes there. And he says, no, in a stern voice, I can come with you. Let me be your charioteer, and I will help you. First, you just stand behind me on the chariot. That's all you have to do. And then he's not ready. And then he says that, what will people say? You are the son of the king. How can you show your back and all those things? No? What about honor? And finally, this man, Uttar Kumar, he says, okay, even if I have to die, I'll die, but at least I'll save my name. That those days, people were very, very attached to their honor and name and integrity. So he basically goes, and his charioteer is this dance teacher who is dressed as a woman. And then they go in the front, and then Uttar Kumar again sees, Uttar means north. So again he sees the enormous, gigantic army coming, with elephants and so many horses and chariots. And he's thinking, I don't know what's going to happen to me now. So he basically jumps off the chariot and he starts running towards the castle, the main gate of the kingdom. And then our charioteer, which is Arjun, has to take the chariot back and is to block his way. Say, I told you in a very stern way, sit here, like how there is disciplines a younger one. You just sit. And then he says, leave it to me. I'll handle this. And then Arjun, who is dressed as a woman, goes to a nearby tree which was dried up. And in that tree there was in a very hidden way, he had his weapons. So Arjuna is an archer and a divine archer. So he gets his bow and quiver from he takes the ground, or basically they say it was hidden in a more celestial way, but he finds that. And it's glowing because they are celestial weapons given by the gods to him. And then Uttar says, who are you? What is this? And he says, I'm Arjun. And he's not able to believe. He said, look at you. Look at what clothes you're wearing. Look what you have been doing. For 1 year, I know you have been teaching dance. So he says, I'm Arjun. I'm an expert dance teacher. That's something which is my hobby. That's true. But I'm a warrior as well. I'm a trained, skilled soldier. So he said, now you be my charioteer. Let me take the fight. And then he grabs his bow, he grabs his quiver, and then he goes. One chariot. That's it. Against hundreds of chariots, hundreds of elephants, thousands of archers. I don't know how many, more than 1 million soldiers combined, with 100 fully trained sons and the commander-in-chief Bhishma. And here he's alone on a chariot, alone with a man who even doesn't know, who's not even a man, he's a teenager, who even doesn't know how to ride a chariot, basically. And he goes there, and the sun is setting. When the sun sets down, so he's safe. So he can come out and open who this person is. And what he does is, he first sends 5 arrows, 4 to his elder brothers and 1 to Bhishma. So the arrow to Bhishma goes between the feet of Bhishma, seeking blessings. We bow to our elders, and he's like bowing down because Bhishma was also his teacher. So he's seeking blessings from his grandfather and from his teacher. And 5 arrows to 5 brothers, like good luck, like this. So arrows touch them actually up here. And they are thrilled that this is Arjun. And then I will not go into the details of how he fights and what he does, but basically he overpowers the whole army alone. This one man, this archer, overpowers everyone alone. He is so overwhelming for the other party that they faint fighting him. Such a feat he was able to pull off. And now here we are in the battle of Kurukshetra. The real battle is going to happen. And this man is, you can see, there is Krishna in this picture, and the person who is doing like folded hands is Arjun. He is freaking out. He has already defeated everybody single-handedly, and now he is freaking out. He's saying, I'm not stable. He is having emotional issues that what am I doing here? And here is where I end, and whenever next time I come, I'll begin from here. And we'll discuss again. So thank you so much for your patient listening and hearing, and for tolerating me. And
Thank you for for this passion. So now we're going to do a little bit of kirtan, and then we're going to have one shira. How does that sound? Okay. So everyone, you can stay where you're seated, or if anyone wants to come sit here and get a little bit closer to the kirtan, get a little bit more intimate, you can also do that.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare And one last thing I'll share, which just came in my mind. There is a saying, there's a shloka in Garuda Purana. It says that when a lion roars in the jungle, all the small animals they flee. Similarly, one when chants the holy names of God, and all the bad things, all bad propensities, bad feelings, they run away from us. So, thank you so much for rolling with me today.
Thank you.
And I think we'll have to shut. And I'm here if you have any questions, if you would like to talk to me, I'm here. I can find you a solution. Thank you so much, Simon. Thank you.
Please stay, make a new friend, have a discussion, you can ask for Nitinanda or myself, any questions you have about the talk or about Bhakti Center or about programs that we have here. We also have a program every Tuesday night. It's guided music meditation from 7:30 to 8:30, followed by chai and cake. And then we have on Thursday nights, we have kirtan from 7 to 9 p.m. followed by dinner, and then we have this program on Saturdays. Also a program on Monday evenings about the Gita reading that starts at 7:30 with our good friend Ani. There's lots of opportunities and learn with us. And also tomorrow, I don't know how long you all are here for. We'll be doing kirtan and watch this for parts from 3 o'clock. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Will you put this away?
Oh, we'll do it.
Is that all the
It's my second some of them they're not very, it's not like Begin in They have a whole model for that. So I'm trying to get the kids to do more like service, community service. After their breakfast, I got all of them. So we had already packed for yeah, that's what it meant. And then there's the
when you know, I order my this is like our I've started I'm starting
that happened to bless it this morning. He's like, oh, today, my brother, you told me last week. And as you guys were walking in, I'm like, I don't know how am I gonna know which one was there. So you guys are only here for the weekends?
Yeah, I got the.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people now, they're like a lot of people die. But I think it's like people are getting less to
I mean, that's the mentality has gone down. Even if you like, life threatening yeah. And then they started talking
You can find this.
I mean, here it won't be so hard because
I'll go over there.
Oh, yeah.
And with
Yeah, people that are coming. Hi.
How are you?
So yes, a lot of
I don't think they have
yeah.
but they're more than
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of what I was trying to parents want them to develop like that's personally whatever.
So they just come to temple for like classes.
Yeah, or like whenever we have like a special trip or something. Yeah.
Yeah, usually there's usually the format. Used to have last part. To watch. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And then the started at 1.
okay.
And today it was even it's like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It used to be like it was all for an hour. So you get and then for no, you guys came in late and behind me because I was late. I was like, and then as I was getting to that elevator, I heard loud movement. So I told Elvis, I'm like, see, like there are not too many people here. It's coming in a big group. Like, oh, I think I saw them downstairs. Then as they came in, they were all little kids. And I told you because I thought it was like in school. I'm like, and then you came to the end. And then I told them I think I see you. Yeah, was it today? Yeah, I heard about you. He came to visit you. Yes. Here. So I have but we were like both last year. Because we started the same day I was. But then we didn't follow and after 2 months. And we lived in the same area.
Oh, you.
In Midtown, yeah. But every time we like walk home together, there were a few of us. Yeah, and then there's another one of our other friends today either. And she has to be like and then you know the people getting all stay one week because I used to like I think that's how we started talking about questions and like and then the way he talks was I don't I'm not really told me about because he's like starting to understand. So it's nice that we need to hear like someone who knows knowledge. Because I don't understand all the specific terms. Like I don't know whether or not I focus on my topics. I read this. But yeah, I'll ask a lot of questions. Because I grew up watching Bhagavad Yeah. So I know so then we have to pass, you know, I was asking a lot of questions about words, how does this make sense with that?
I think you might find he's also like but what he did was like places like Kashmir and like also like and discovered lost very different and yet Yeah, like. Yeah, like.
So there's like something in order to show.
Yeah. So you were saying, yeah, so that I think he record that he you have to take that off of the if you actually pull it back. No, I have but
should I have also that's why I always question this. So this is what the source of all this. So now I we should have just
so he pretty he did like a lot of things, not just but he also did like research on science.
yeah, because there should be some type of presidency, some overlap.
Which is very similar. I don't know what I'm saying, in between Eastern Europe and India, the other side of the city park, like he did all of that.
Right. How do you get there? Yeah. But there is that as well.
Yeah.
That's how India, those travel. Eastern Asian side, Cambodia, Thailand, there's a lot of those.
So, in those books, and so those books are very fast.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Why don't you give me other books here?
Well,
Very good. What's I just read my first time. Asking a lot of questions last time. I didn't know there was so many of these things.
oh yeah, that's
And
another.
we were talking after class like this, and I was like, wait, what? How? Wait, I don't even know this. And I'm like, wait, I think I remember this in the Mahabharata. In the beginning, there's a read in the show.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I never realized it's in space.
Yeah.
I think that's a concept that's my children. I just never realized it. And I was so happy about it. And then that day, well, that's very short. So you know, it's like one of those short summary books. So you read like the whole practice and then you're like, dude, I don't know. But it was about all the basically the interior versus the superior energy and how to even the demigods are different.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, because I think that's how they started. So like, and it's like, and then she must come say, and then it's like, they have like the demigods world, which is a what people, yeah. That's not what you shouldn't achieve with that. You try to fire or, and I didn't read like all that. So that kind of like, and then we looked at the chart.
Oh, yeah, the big.
Yeah, I got that. Texted to me, which has all one. I didn't know all of them. So I'm like, okay, so that's the case that there are multiple universes. But even in this one, then how is the dream one in the universe?
Yeah.
And then I was questioning that, and every time that they were like, oh, we should try that, I'm like, okay, next time.
Yeah.
Because I still have to read it. Yeah.
So, but like,
So wait, who's the person, Stephen? Did you
yeah.
further, have you read any?
I should have before that. But I mean, like, he has
No, he's, it's like, he's trying to figure out how that's. That's cool.
yeah, I mean, he has and his books are,
Oh, higher, okay.
and he has like so many books, and he even writes like science fiction and
Because he's still alive.
I strongly believe so. Although he's like probably very old.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so many books. Right now I'm reading the proof of basic global existence.
Oh, yeah. Global existence.
Right now I'm reading this Existence and Infinity, which is basically strategy what we see. Because you know like
That's not the same one as there was one about Turkey.
oh yeah, that
I have to see because of that. Because like this one is cool. It's like a story.
yeah,
And it's like so finish it like a little bit faster. Like so I want to see that.
yeah, that is
I have that.
that's an amazing movie.
But
But
that's a different person.
yeah, but that's
Right. But this would be like even like
When-
more investigation.
we visited those websites and read those descriptions.
So that's how I think of it. So I'm like, well, then how does that fit into that? If there is a.
So like, you know, when you read his books, what he's saying is that, whatever, he has to speak to his audience. How much of it Arjuna, he was a very, not a great high level. So to him, he can speak on topics of that from that. He will digest it and he can even but you know, I know a lot of people. And you know, I also try to interact with lots of people to see how people think. So when we talk about people, just for example, a person that is, you know, that's behind your business, really
Yeah.
and then, you know, he doesn't digest that.
Right. You see it, there's some of that
He
register.
doesn't just not gonna register, but when I talk about people who are nurse, so she gets it. You know, so it's like whenever the messenger comes, he has to like sit very well.
Well, that's what I've been saying to some of the speakers. I talked to them. Like, you just look at it, I know that, and I'm like, yeah, but it's hard. Why can't we have a well, they had their during their time. And I'm like, Urgent had it, why can't we have it next to us? And then they're like, oh, you don't even know. There could be someone around who's just not even able to see. And they could they're like, but that's the thing. They come in so many different forms.
And the other thing is, maybe Krishna was actually really going to leave you with the family. Maybe he said something like, you can't say this.
But that's what, but I'm like, try me first. I don't, how can you say something unless you've gone through it? So I'm like, I need to go through it to be able to. But then they're like, but they didn't think of it like that. Like, until that battlefield, he didn't open it anymore. Right, it's like, there's like, I didn't know if you had so long. And the friends, on the battlefield, on the field, for the first time. So they're like, before that, they didn't think of that. They did.
But that's the way the question, right? Like, the moment when that was like really difficult circumstance. I'm not sure if you want to be that.
No, you're right. It's not, but is that only in specific situation? But that's not like, it's just like how we talk about people praying. Usually people really need God to pray.
Like our
Times, right? Not never please them. And that's just, it's a general statement.
Yeah.
But it's more of a what is happening, right? Between any but then the same concept kind of applies the other way too. Ego rises up, when you're going through something, it's not so there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work the same way.
Well, so.
Which is not cool.
Yeah, I know. But one thing that I can say, like, as younger, but then, like, I found like some very when I went through this challenge, at the moment, I'm like, this thing, but like, when the thing ended, and I looked back, and I was like, oh my god, like, I learned so much from that, like, my best realization.
It's true. And I agree with that too.
So, I guess it goes back to like the no pain, no gain.
Yeah. My thing is just, I just wanna, and I tell your brother this, I'm like, I'm a more of a, just like how I am with my friends, in person. Like, if they like, when you become a friend that you do way, you can keep in contact. But I can't meet someone who's far away with contact. This is, someone is there, they're just far away, right? Then I was like, I need to first meet them in person, then I'll be in contact with them.
I feel that was another thing I was telling like,
Do I sound a lot like your person?
no. They're just a more way different. I was having this conversation with them. Like, so the whole thing is like you should like Krishna. And I said that like however, I see you. She treats me on her stuff. I told her that I see you and I see you sacrifice the community. And I also see you sacrifice for me. Like, we have this late night talk, and I obviously know you want to say, but you're taking out the time to have this. And when I see that, then I feel love that I'm going to get for you.
Yes.
So I'm loving submission. But like, I can't have it.
Right, there is, right, and that's how, so these are the things I was asking in class, like last year, and that's why you're like, because I think the same thing, and then that's how we started. But I'm like, oh yeah, I just want to ask them, and then I start talking in class, and then I save it for after.
Yeah. So I you like have a love.
Right.
So it was like, and then she was like, exactly. So she said, in spiritual world, there is no, so in the material world, like here, you have to endeavor to get food, you have to endeavor to get this. In there's abundance of resources.
But we don't see it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
yeah.
see- and this is why I get the concept, that's why even with her, that's a material bond.
Yeah.
And it's like, what if she didn't bedtime
And
later?
then there's no relationship.
Right, see, then it's like, but you shouldn't expect that from people in a way, because you always, if you, love should just be, I don't know, absolutely.
So that's part of it. So first of all, in spiritual, everything is central, basically. So that is a freedom sentient means alive. So the spiritual world is actually pretty different from the material world.
Right, where we can't even conceptualize.
Yeah, so like, you know, our what so what happens, let's say like Krishna wants to go out. So she was explaining, so says Krishna wants to go out. You know what happens, like, immediately the trees, they gather around trees and shade. They drop your roses in the, so that they can walk.
Yeah, everybody will contribute.
Yeah. Making their melodic noises. The bird will start chirping. Like, you know, so all of this will happen. And so she said that, you know, like, we build this relationship. So she was telling me, we build this relationship because we started doing service and example together. You're very and we build this relationship. This is exactly what the spiritual world is about. Like, it's about Krishna.
But
It's also about all the other, yeah, like the cloud telling the sun that, hey, can you back up this place so that I can cover you. So
but you, that's the whole community aspect.
yes,
But you can apply that to other things too, like hobbies. So now you have a certain hobby, and you have people that are also into the same thing you are. So you'll start spending time together.
yeah.
But I'm still not like,
So,
so the Christian, I get it,
yeah,
with the spiritual world, okay, and I get how she was saying to you guys have wanted it through because of what Krishna has provided, which is I'm just giving you a place and then you figure out the rest,
Yeah.
make it work.
yeah,
You will orchestrate it by talking to each other, by doing this service or that service.
yeah,
But now, where does he come? I still don't,
yeah. So
I get this is all like, you know, magic, not magic tricks, but like magic. So you know, and then those people will
get
get
together.
together, and, yeah, but then, that's great, but also, how do I know that's what's going on
No,
there?
but the thing is, like, the
Like,
reason.
who's gonna up and come back to tell us?
Yeah. No, but that goes like, you know, the fact that we actually have the close relationship, like me and her, is because of Krishna, because we're doing this. And then what happens is, you know, so I have with her, and now I have with this kid. Then, as time is going by, I'm having with their parents, like, especially slowly, like, you know, initially when I came to Sylvania, I was just like one person, I was alone, nothing to do, and others felt like I was in a desert, searching for a voice. But then now, like,
Although you came from this.
yeah,
That's it.
like, you know, emotional desert, and now, like, you know, there are job offers that's coming out of state, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to move.
Yeah,
Like,
because I have community,
Yeah,
other
like,
people,
yeah.
other families.
exactly. And so, like, you know, so, she was saying that, you know, like the transition will be like so smooth that you won't even realize the moment like Krishna actually is there and all these devotees are there because you are already so engrossed in this whole devotee love. Like, you know, when he comes, it'll be just like it won't be, so what he said, when she says, like, it's not like a flicking of a switch. It's more smoother than that. Like, it just happens and you don't even realize that, oh my God, my life actually changed.
But how did she?
She's a sweet.
No, I know it's difficult because of what it's found out, but this is why I feel like, you know, I don't understand it a lot. I don't want it to sound like, I question, that's why my name means to be curious, and I do that with questioning and because I need to, I'm also, I need to be an auditor, right? I need to learn something about.
So I come from an engineering background,
Yes.
and I'm not very like, you know, I'm
Data driven.
like mathematical, like, you know, it should like A equal to B and B
Yeah.
equal to C, and I can say it.
Then you can say, yeah.
Kind of thing. And I had a struggle, like,
But you were able to do all this
Yeah, but more so, like magic stuff can happen, and I couldn't find logic to explain it. Stuff like I would see a dream and it would happen the next day, or like I would see that I'm supposed to do something. I see tomorrow this thing that I'm supposed to do. Like I didn't know like.
Do you see water drinking personas?
Oh man, I don't think.
But this is like how I know.
Yeah.
But
So like then I started seeing like unexplainable things, and I think that's what.
But that's what I'm saying, like for me, I need that too. Because then it'll help me here.
Right. Yeah.
But I know that it just has to be that.
Yeah, I think it's a more of a journey more of a process, and it's not like you won't wake up tomorrow to magic wand. But what happens over longer periods of time, we start seeing things that are like inexplicable, even like logic. And another thing